Yep. I think we're recording. Okay.
Now you are.
Recording on
Okay.
my
Now,
side.
now we're recording. So Vikram's Fathom's in here as well, so we should be good. We should have the first part, but I digress. So the big focus today is like,
Sorry.
how do we take the seller leads that we're currently generating, and how do we automate the relationship build? Now, this isn't what I'm going to show you today. Isn't like, okay, now I'm going to do this, and I don't have to pick up the phone anymore. You still need to pick up the phone, and you still need to make phone calls. So I always preface that because I had a call with one of our Triz private clients the other day. They got on the phone with me, and I'm now the Vic has me as the bridge person to whether you can buy leads or whether you can't buy leads now. So if anyone wants to buy leads now, they have to go to my calendar first, and I am going to ask you a series of about 15 questions to figure out whether you're ready for leads yet or not. So because I want to serve you guys, and me and Vic have been talking about, we want to serve you at a really high level. And like if you haven't gotten into the expired scripting, if you haven't got into the if you don't have the game plan frame locked in yet, you don't need more marketing. So what I would encourage you to do is like earmark what I'm going to talk to you today about. Go, earmark this in your in the portal for yourself. This might not be a right now thing for you, depending on where you're at right now in your real estate business, but this should be a future thing. It should be something you think about in the future. So I'm going to walk you through kind of what I'm thinking about. Anyone here using a company called thanks.io right now? Anyone using them? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, well, cool. So I think this is going to land. Sean, are you using thanks.io at all? No? Okay. I'm going to
Say
blow your minds today.
thanks.
Thanks.io. So who here is running Google ads? Who's here running Google ads? Who here is running Facebook ads for sellers? Where is everyone getting their seller leads? You can just unmute yourself. We're a small group now. Where's everyone getting our seller leads right now?
Right now, I'm doing just expireds.
Okay,
That's it.
awesome. Sweet. So I'm gonna show you Red X. Okay, amazing. Um, this is going to be amazing. What else we have? We have mailers. Okay, you're already doing mailers. I'm going to show you a really cool platform that I like for mailers that can automate the process of mailers. What are you using right now, Sean, for mailers? You already do it. You're the only one. Sounds like you're doing mailers for sellers. What platform are you using?
A platform. I'm just basically I have Geoform that I just send all the like, so I lace about 2,500 sellers in a geographic area.
Okay, cool. You know what you're doing you might just keep doing what you're doing. I really like this platform I'm going to show you today, but I'm going to take everyone through, like if you're running, I'm going to talk to the people that are running ads right now, and then I'm going to shift to the people that are doing more like outbound dialing. Because if you have a farm of like 2, 3, 4, 500 homes in an area, I want you to supplement your outbound calling with a little bit of mailers. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So um, if you're running Google ads, you're running YouTube ads or anything. So let me show you an example of kind of like what we're doing. So in the YouTube ads platform or in the Google ads platform, what we're doing right now is, so you have your essentially your lead that, opts in. So, these are all opt-in leads. So they're a little bit warmer than like obviously a cold call. But what we're doing here is on your where are we at here? Let's click on the edit button. So you've heard me talk about this before about the opt-in value offer. How when we get somebody to opt in, we want to present them something of value, and then we want to present an offer. So you guys have probably heard me. If you haven't, there's training in the portal around that. But say for example, prospect comes in, they land on your landing page. So for you, Jill, you have your landing page. So you have your seller opt-in landing page. You're going to want to make sure on your seller opt-in landing page that if you're running your own ads or if you have somebody running your ads, you want to separate the columns. So you don't want to put you want to make it look like this. You want to have your full name. When the person opts in, you want to get separate. You want to make sure that that field is specific to an address. So when I go specific property, I get full name, phone number, email, full property address, city, and postal code. So if I'm running an ad, I want to know all of those things, or like zip code. I want to know all of those things so that I can feed those leads into a program we call thanks.io. So thanks.io is a platform that will actually automate handwritten cards or handwritten notes to your ideal customer. So for you, Jill, you get the opt-in. There on the back end of this platform, you can actually, with Zapier, you can connect your CRM to this platform. So say, for example, a lead comes in, Jill, and they come in, you can create a campaign on the back end, like a direct mail campaign on the back end for every lead that populates into your system. So it's another entry point for you where you would obviously have to write the copy and everything. And I'm going to be recording some modules around some direct mail campaigns that you can have. And I'm going to be putting that in the portal soon. But this is something I want you to start thinking about because lead comes in. What do? We call them. That's one entry point. We text them. That's another entry point. We email them. That's another entry point. That's fine. But let's add a fourth. Let's add a traditional touch to this. So I want to show you how crazy this platform gets. So you can just like say, for example, you have brand guidelines. So for me, I uploaded my brand guidelines. I can send out postcards. I can send out windowed letters. I can send out windowless letters in thanks.io. I can send note and gift cards. Like, so I can actually, like, say, for example, I wanted to allocate $10 per lead that comes through my secrets. I can actually, through this platform, automatically send them a $10 Starbucks gift card if I wanted to. I'm not saying you have to send a $10 gift card to everyone. I'm just saying like let's start thinking outside the box. Let's start thinking about how do we provide more value back to sellers. So what we do here, I'll show you really quickly. So this is just a template and you can automate this process, but in here you have, so lead comes in, or say, for example, Emic, you wanted to download a list of like 300 homeowners in the area, or like, say, for example, you wanted to get really, really, really zoned in on like 100 homes in like the 100 homes that are around you, like where you walking distance. This is kind of the strategy I would do. I would set up a mailer campaign, and for it cost about $2.47 a mailer. So for $247 a month, you can circle the 100 homes that are closest to where you currently live. For
Cody, I was just
247,
getting ready to do this.
yeah. So,
But do you have to send them out? Just like you would have to consistently send them out some things, right?
You could create a campaign in the back end of thanks.io. So like, for example, what I could do is what I can do here is I can upload a mailing list. So what I can do, if I already have my, like, there's different places you can get, there's so many different platforms out there where you can buy data. RedX, PropStream, your title rep has data. So data is not the issue. It's the consistency that's the issue. So if you decide to implement this strategy, you essentially would just upload the CSV here, Emic. You'd upload the CSV, and whether it be, say, for example, you wanted to keep in touch with, say, for example, you wanted to cut the budget in half, just choose 50 homes to start with. 50 homes in your area that you want to, farm. And then as your budget gets bigger and bigger, you're already making the dials to them. You make the dials, I have a buyer done right is a letter. I'm going to be recording a video and putting it in the portal around like how to actually write mailers that actually get responded to. The important element of mailers, if you want to do it right, is you want to have one specific audience and one specific call to action on your mailer. One specific audience, one specific call to action on your mailer. So if you want them to book an appointment, you want to essentially, if you want them to call you, one action, one call to action in the mailer. It's like the same principles online leads apply to mailers. The same principles that we've gone through if you were at our 7-figure summit around opt-in value offer, same concept. But I personally feel like this is right now for someone that is looking to invest into leads. This is the single best way in order to get in front of homeowners is a mailer. So this is what it looks like. So you can customize the template. And this is what I love the most about the platform. So I upload our logo. I have my name, my email address, and like our website here. I can literally click this button here. Say for example, for example, is Ryan still here with us? So I got an idea for you. So you sit down, you meet with a seller.
Yeah.
They make the decision, it expired. They make the decision. They don't, now's not the right time. I would put them on a direct mail campaign. I would write them a personalized note using this platform because it's going to be faster for you. So you can literally just move them in your CRM and it automatically will send the email, or you can do it manually. So a windowless letter looks like this. So this is how cool it gets. So I have templates here, and this is what the template looks like.
Cody, real quick, what's a windowless letter?
So a windowless letter means that it's a sealed envelope with the person's name on it.
Got it.
So a windowed letter would more look like a check or
like a bill, right?
like a bill.
Yeah.
So we want like a personalized letter. And what I wouldn't send a personalized letter every month. I would create a campaign in the back end of thanks.io. And I would say 1 month would be a letter. The next month would be a postcard. The next month and Jan talked about this the other day. So this month, Jan has his farm, and Jan is doing he's doing a direct mail campaign to I think like 500 homes in the neighborhood, and he's essentially like telling them that he's hosting like a garage sale, and he's hosting like a neighborhood block garage sale. So you got to get consistent with mailers, but mailers are 110% working right now if you know how to write. And I'm gonna give you a bunch of different types of mailers you can send. I'm gonna be recording a module inside a school and dropping it in there, kind of showing you 3 to 5 different mailers that are kind of working. So that's something I'm gonna be working for you guys on the back end over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. But I want to stop here and see if anyone has any questions. Is this kind of sparking interest? Is this something that you guys think you might want to implement in your business?
Yeah, and I have a question actually.
Yeah.
So basically so this could be just a one-off mailer for that so does it matter the quantity? Is it all about the same price?
There's no quantity order. That's what I love about thanks.io. So there's 2 options with the platform. So it's all AI automated, generated. There's 2 options you have with this platform. I need an affiliate link from these guys, but this is so good. So with this platform, we're using it for our private clients, like our private coaching clients right now, with YouTube ads and Google ads. But you could do one of 2 things. It's $2.47 to send a mailer, or if you do their subscription, it's $49 a month, and it's $1.47 a card.
$1.47.
Per handwritten note. Per handwritten note.
$1.47. Okay, got it. With subscription. Okay.
Yeah. And they give you, and if you want to test it out, they give you $10 worth of free credits. But if you guys are thinking about mailers, if you're thinking about how do I without expending a crazy amount of time on actually handwriting a note, this is a great way to have your prospect feel safe, seen, and heard, or have them feel special, because it looks like a handwritten note without you having to for me to write a handwritten note would take me 15 to 20 minutes, and then I got to go mail it and all that other stuff. So this is kind of a way for you to kind of build that relationship and write a personalized message to them. So what I do is I just, I have my template, and then what I do is I click continue and I just add the person's address. Now, if I've already uploaded, I can just literally choose the existing list right here if I had a list. So for you, what you would do, Emic, is you would just upload your 50 to 100 people you're gonna prospect next week. So this would be my strategy. The 100 to 200 people you're gonna prospect every month, I would send them a letter first, and then I would start my prospecting game. That's what I would do.
So,
So
deli-
you mean
Go ahead.
like, for example, I pull a list of expireds. I would send them a handwritten note.
Yeah.
Wait however many days. And
Takes
then
about
call.
2, 3, 4 days. Yeah, it takes 2 to 3, 4 days in order. So what are two things are going to happen? Either number one, they already got the letter and they're like, oh my God, like, thank you for sending me this letter. Either that's going to happen, or number two, you're going to call them, you're going to have the conversation, and then they're going to get the letter from you after you have the conversation. Either option is good. Like, it doesn't really matter whether it's before or after. Either option's good.
Okay, here's another thing. So I have a lot of DNCs on my expired list. What if I can't get a hold of them on the phone? Would you just continue to just follow up with different mailers and try to figure out like how to
That's
get them to opt
yeah.
into calling
Yeah.
me?
What I would personally do if I were you, a farm, like, like getting really clear on what your farm is, like, because like a mailing strategy ultimately is a farm strategy. So like if you say, okay, I want to be known for the 200 to 500 homes that are closest to where I currently live. Well, then that becomes an easy strategy. Like, you remember, like I talked about this probably a couple months ago. I said, all good marketing, whether it be digital, whether it be traditional, whether it be social, it doesn't matter. It factors in these 4 things. And I talked about this at the summit, anyone that was there with me. It's messaging, it's targeting, it's creative, and then it's offer. So messaging is number one. You need to make sure you have the right messaging. Hey, hey, first name. This is Just Emick. I live around the corner from you. If you want to make a more personalized intro, I actually live in the neighborhood, and I've been personally reaching out to all of the homeowners in the area just to make sure that they know XYZ thing. So I would go very personal in that first mailer, and then I would present my offer. I'm gonna be recording, like, you could lead with, I have a buyer done right. Hey, hey Hannah, this is just Cody. I actually live in the area, and I have a buyer that is looking for homes specifically in this area. And you want to say the client name? I have a client, John, who is looking for a specific property in the area. He's looking for a 2-bed, 3-bath home, yada yada. And that's in the portal. I talk about that it's under the email launch calendar in school. It's under Triz Power Play books. And if you go to the marketing and lead generation section in the new portal, there's a module called email launch calendar, and I show you how to write. And I have a buyer done right letter, so I show you exactly how to do that in the portal, in the Triz portal.
Hey,
Is that helpful, Emick? Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
John.
I was waiting for Emick to respond. So yeah, I was getting ready to do something like that, but door knocking in my sphere. I got
Cool.
I got 500 homes right around in my subdivision. Do you think I should door knock and then give him like call it a postcard or a handwritten thing, just to?
I would do the handwritten letter first, and then I would start door knocking. Yeah.
Okay.
So whenever you're thinking about, so what we're talking about today is omni-channel marketing. So all the biggest brands in the world have multiple channels. So a lie you've been told in the real estate industry is this: you need 6 lead sources in order to grow a business. That's not true. I want to be very clear here. It's not true. What is true is called omni-channel marketing. So it's not about having a different lead source. It's about how are you reaching the same people in different ways? This is why people buy billboard ads. This is why people buy radio. This is why people buy social media ads. It's a good marketing it's not all digital. It's digital and traditional. They both work. I talked about that at the summit. There's paid, there's organic, and there's traditional. All work, all just take time, skill, and volume. So like this strategy that I'm walking you through today around mailers, it's going to take time, skill, and volume. It's going to require a little bit of money, but this is how you start a farm. One first month, but you got to be consistent. You got to like, if this is the direction you want to take your business and you want to build a farm, month 1, needs to be a personal letter. Then you're going to door knock. So you're going to supplement your letters with your door knocking, John.
Okay.
Month 1 is a letter. Month 2 is a postcard. Month 3 might be I have a buyer letter done right. Month 4 might be, hey, I'm hosting this garage sale in the area. Like those are 4 letters. And then what you do is you just rotate the 4 campaigns. You just change it every quarter. It's like, the next letter that you send is like, hey, last month we did the, garage sale and this was the outcome and yada, yada. Just choose like for $147 to $247 a month, you can hit 50 to 100 homes in your local proximity area, but you got to be consistent with it.
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing other signs up in my subdivision being like,
yeah,
KW.
There's no reason why you guys aren't owning the 100 to 200 homes in the area. It's just strategy. Like you got to get strategic with like, for us, like I do mailers. So like I send like when somebody doesn't work with Sheridan Street on our marketing side, I will send them a letter through thanks.io directly to their office to try to re-engage the conversation. It's not all digital. Digital is just one function of the marketing machine. Organic, when people say all you need to do is post more online, it's not true. And when you actually look under the, like when you actually look at the profit and loss statements of some of the largest teams in the country, the things that they're speaking on stage isn't even what they're doing. They're like, oh, I went all in on YouTube ads. It's like, but then you look at the profit and loss statement, it's like, well, you spent $10,000 a month on this billboard ad over here. Like you're not telling everyone else about the billboard ad that's working. That helped you build your brand. It's not just one thing. And like, that's the one thing as a like inside of Triz that I really want to nail home. And I know Vic echoes this sentiment, is that there's going to be a lot of gurus in the space that are going to say a lot of things, that this is the newest thing that works. It all works. It just all takes time, skill, and volume. Sean, you have a question?
Yeah. I mean, I really do like the skill, the school platform a lot. Is that in the same, is your and Vikram's stuff all in that one? Or I don't know, I'm not quite, or
yeah, so everything is migrated. Vikram and I are now business partners. Like we run your Real Estate Sales Academy, Triz, together. So he owns Sheridan. Sheridan Street is and we're going to record a video about this. We just literally merged everything.
Okay.
So Sheridan Street is the main company, and then we have Triz. So, but everything is going to be inside of school. I sent everyone an email and a text message, but I understand things get busy. Kind of walking you through the school platform, but everything is in the Triz community platform now. And like all of like marketing training, it's all just under one umbrella now.
Oh,
that's why I'm coming in once a month to do some marketing training for you guys as well.
Oh, I see. And then the Mighty Network stuff, that's going to be all migrated there too.
That's already migrated to school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So everything. So once you guys go into school here, and maybe what I'll get Vikram to do is on every call for the next like couple of months, making sure that people are actually in school. So if you haven't joined the Triz community platform yet, this is the private community now. So we're moving away from Mighty Networks to make it way easier for you to access all of the best content. We surveyed quite a few of you, and like a lot of people were like, the Mighty Networks platform is super clunky. So go ahead and do me a favor, click that. I just threw the link in the chat, but everything's broken now down by foundations. So I went in, because I'm more of an operator. Vic is a sales guy. I went in and I changed all of the sequences of all the content so that we have our foundations portal, we have our ultimate booking appointment formula, all of our trust modules, all of our rapport modules, all of our influence modules are all there.
Oh.
Our buyer presentation's here now. Our $1 billion listing presentation is in this portal. The Triz Power Playbooks, these are all of our scripts. They're all here. All of our lead generation training is here. And then I'm going to be adding like mailer strategies. Like you're getting in the whole kit and caboodle now inside of school for being a part of the Triz community.
Okay, so the confusion was I had the free
Yeah,
Triz
yeah.
one.
There's
Like
a
that's why I
free,
was going. I didn't see. Okay,
yeah.
so I just clicked on
So
the
there,
link. Okay, so I
yeah.
just
We
okay, got
click
it.
on the link. Louisa will let you in, and I'll make sure that on the daily huddles and on the daily calls that Vic is going through with you guys. Anyone that is listening back to the replay, just to make sure you get in school, because Louise is going to be reaching out. We just launched the private community that you all have access to. We just launched it on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. So
Oh.
we're keeping Mighty Networks up until we get everyone migrated over to school.
Okay, and then as far as the scripts go, maybe I mean I know that Sheridan Street before had its like the scripts that obviously you and Vikram collaborate on, but then also my network scripts were I'm not sure if they were different or not. Is this now kind of integrated where it's all like one?
This is all one. Yeah, this is all Vic scripts now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Okay. I just
Yeah.
that helps to kind of
Yeah.
at least
That's helpful.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. So I have a buyer letter. I'll actually give you I'll give you guys a direct link to I have a buyer letter. It's easier for me to it's gonna be way easier for me to link everything now too. Right here. So I have a buyer letter done right is under email marketing that converts. I just threw it. That's the module you want to go to for the letter. Cool. What other questions do we have around marketing? That was the main thing I wanted to jam with you guys today about was mailers. If any of you just hopped in, I would highly implore you going to back to the portal and watching the first 30 minutes of this back. We met today, Salvatore, today we chatted about, I know you just hopped in. We've been chatting today about a listing mailer strategy about how to actually build a farm with handwritten notes, but at scale versus having to write out, 100 letters. That's near impossible. There's a platform called thanks.io, and I walked you guys through the strategy in the first 30 minutes of this call. So I want to open it up for Q&A for the next like 20 to 30 minutes to see if you from a marketing perspective, it could be about mailers, it could be about social media, it could be about anything marketing related. I want to do a little bit of coaching for you guys over the next 20 minutes. How can I help you?
I'd like to give a little congratulations to you and Vic, first of all, on I know you guys have both been busting your butts to kind of get this thing rolling. So thanks a lot.
Hey,
Congrats.
Appreciate you very much.
I have a question. Sorry.
Rocket,
No, go ahead.
So the school, does that also include the Sheridan Street portal? Like all of the talks that you have under Sheridan Street, yeah, so is that also the client club or whatever? Is that right?
So
Is that
yeah, it's confusing because like we're taking two companies and we're merging them together. I totally understand. All you need to worry about right now, in my personal opinion, is just the school community. That's the only thing you should be focused on is the school community.
Okay,
Is that helpful?
Yeah, because I'm still trying to go through both portals. So now I just kind of focus on the school
just
community.
focus on the school. Yeah.
Okay.
Just focus on the school community.
I got a quick question. So when you record your videos, do you do it all? Like I've heard some people just say do one per day because I want to get back into the video game. Just for the sake of getting myself out there and basically my Facebook is where all my friends and family watch, and that's kind of like my data. That's a portion of my database. So when you shoot videos, do you do like once a month and you just post every day, or do you do like once a week or once a day? Like how do you go about that?
I batch content. I batch process all of my content. So I will hire a videographer for an entire day once a month, or like for example, we did 2 days 2 months ago. Like it's funny because I've lost like 11 pounds in the last like month. So like I look fat in all my videos, And like, it's like, it's funny because then people see me, they're like, oh my God, like you're so much skinnier than the last video I saw.
It's tighter jawline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I lose it very quickly in my face. I batch process all of my content, and then I have my assistant post it on a daily basis. Like I don't have to. I did 2 days of recording with my videographer. I don't have to record anything for the next 3-4 months.
Okay.
I personally like that because I hate recording content. I hate it. It's
So
like
do
the
I.
worst, like the worst thing in the world.
Like
I
I
would
don't
much
mind getting
rather
on
just
camera,
hire a
but
videographer.
Mhm.
I would much rather hire a videographer for the entire day and have them like shoot, 40 pieces of content that I recycle for like 2 months. I prefer doing it that way. So what I did on my last, I brought me and Vic brought our videographers from um, another part of the country. We flew them in and they came for 2 days. And I recorded lifestyle content. I recorded talking head. I recorded following me around, going to different things. I prefer to batch process all the content and then just have my VA edit it. And then I send it to my assistant and she just posts it every day. So then I don't have to think about it. I would much rather just block it one a day a month or one day every other month and just get it done and over with than try to slug through once a week. I just have found that's never worked for me. So I do the other way.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
that's how I find I'm consistent, is because like if my team says, hey, we're coming to the end of like our road with amount of content. Now we had if you guys follow me on social, we have the content from the event. We have the content, like I did a 2-day recording. So I have like so much content. Plus I have all the content I did. You'll get to a point where like that recording happened 2.5 months ago and I haven't recorded anything since. So that's what I would personally do, is just block it a day in your calendar, hire a videographer. That the videographer will force you to do it. And like when you break it down into like what it's going to cost from like a time perspective, like you gotta do the time comparative analysis. It might make more sense to hire a videographer for the day to just like force you to do the content. Because that was one of my biggest hangups, why I was like not recording content. Because like I'm like, I got a camera, but I'm fine. I don't need to record content today, and I wouldn't do it. So that's what I did.
That's how I'm feeling right now. So all right. Thank you.
Hopefully that's helpful. Jill, you have a question? We'll go Jill, then we'll Salvatore, and then we'll go Sean.
Sorry, guys, I guess ladies first. So with the videos, does it matter that the backdrop is always the same? Because I mean, I've been trying to do videos and stuff, and I'm always in my office. I mean, I do a few outside, but all my content it's the same. Is that okay? And do I need to have something that brands me, like Ryan's cool pink hat?
Like that's a personal brand thing. Like if the cool pink hat isn't Jill, then the cool pink hat shouldn't be Jill. You know what I mean? Like it's like you like, for me, like I am an introvert but an extrovert when I need to be. Like I don't like I would much rather sit behind a computer and build shit on the back end than get on sales calls. But I get on sales calls because I have to. And like, it's a part of just doing business. So I think you have to just identify what it is who Jill is and how you best perform. I think it's the first question to ask yourself. So like, if the answer might be, you might be similar to me, where it might be like, I just need to hire a videographer once a quarter that comes and hangs out with me for a day and then does all the content so I can do different. Like that was like one of the things that I was finding with my content too. I was shooting it myself. I had a really nice camera. I was shooting myself, but all the content was exactly the same. So it was getting lost in the shuffle. So I shifted back to bring in a videographer once a quarter, have him shoot a ton of content with me for an entire day, and then all my content looks different now. So I personally like that. I think that just allows you, like, even though you're saying the same thing, you're saying it in a different environment, which makes it seem like you're saying something different. So that's what I would say. That would be the advice I would give you.
Okay.
And videographers aren't super expensive. If you find a guy, you can find people for like, to come for the day for like depending on where you live, like where are you located, Jill?
I'm in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Beach.
Oh, you're in the beach area. You can find cheap videographers.
Mm.
They're not like, you don't have to spend an arm and a leg for a videographer. Does he have, like, the question to ask is, do you have a good mic? Do you have like a good lav mic? And show me some examples of some of the content you shot before. And then just search for like a videographer that can kind of come out and shoot. You might already have one.
Okay, but you don't think I need to have that I need to have something that identifies? I mean, because I know like there's realtors, they wear these glasses and everyone goes, oh, that's the realtor with the whatever glasses and stuff. So you don't think that's as important?
Well, do you have any like quirky things that like make Jill Jill?
No, I care about people. I drink tea, but I can have a teacup. Well, that's kind
There
of
you go.
lame.
There
don't
you
think
go.
that's
There you
lame?
go.
That's not lame. But
No,
but Jill, that's you.
it is me.
A personal brand is you. So you just answered your own question.
Mhm.
You know, tea time with Jill.
Okay.
There you go. There's your brand.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Cody.
That's literally your brand. That's literally your brand now. I love tea. Okay, well, tea time with Jill.
Mhm.
People know me as the guy that lives in Colombia because I post a bunch of crap. Like, I recently had a video go viral of me, like the intro to the video. If anyone's seen it, it's like, most people when they think of Colombia, they think of coffee, Coke, and the cartel. But let me tell you about like what I think about Colombia. So like it went viral. There's like, hundreds of comments, bunch of shares, people like roasting me in the comments because I'm a gringo. So it's great though. But like, it's like that's a part of who I am. And I think that we overthink the brand thing. Like
Mhm.
branding is like just like I used to have a podcast like back during COVID. I love coffee. Right now I'm like I can't drink coffee right now, so I'm like I don't know how I'm living, but I can't drink coffee right now. But like I had a podcast 4 years ago called Coffee with Cody, and that was literally my brand. I would literally get on camera and I would talk about whatever I want to talk about for 10 minutes, and I would just go Facebook Live, and it was called Coffee with Cody. So
All right, Cody,
part
help me
human,
figure
part
out a
God, yeah,
brand.
100%.
Now you can help me out.
Well, I'll come to you. Let's go to Salvatore first. He has a
Yeah.
question.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Cody. So talking about, forcing yourself to do content and such, I am so hyper-focused on building my sales skills. That's why I, involved in all of this. So for me, like getting on the phone, like prior to all this
Yeah.
and why I was a little late is because I was just in my Mojo dialer just going, and then I'm like, oh shit, missed the beginning of the call. But, I have no problem doing that, making my calls and everything. For me, the hard thing is what you're discussing, which is like actually putting the content, and it's not even a fear thing. It's prioritizing, just like actually setting the time blocking time to it, because I notice it's always on my schedule, but it's always the one thing that I never get around to doing. And that just tells me that I don't prioritize it. So I know you mentioned, that was always kind of tough for you. So like, what was that flip of the switch for you where you're like actually started doing it, prioritizing it, and like posting yourself?
Um, you guys can hear me all right, right? You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay. I think my internet's acting a little funny right now. Give me 1 second here. Everyone can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, the prioritization. So I went to a conference 2.5 years ago, called Grow with Video Live, and me and Vikram both went to that conference, and we just made a conscious decision that we're going to make personal brand a focus. And that was kind of, I would say that conference for us was kind of the shifting point where we said, okay, we're going to make this a priority and we're going to go all in. But once we made the decision that we were going to go all in on content, the second thing happened where it's like, okay, now I got to figure out how I hold myself accountable. Like it's like going to the gym. You got to figure out how you're going to be held accountable to actually doing the thing that you want to do. So for me, that's why I hired a videographer. I hired the videographer not because I can't shoot the content myself, because I can. I hired the videographer because the videographer is the accountability, because I already paid him the 50% deposit to show up at that time to be with me the entire day. Now it gets so bad that like as they were the last time I didn't want to record content at all because I'd gained some weight. I felt like, you know, insecure about like everything. And I'm like, and like I almost canceled the entire shoot and I already paid for their ticket, everything. I almost canceled the shoot and I'm like, just go shoot with Vikram. But I pushed through it because I'm like, oh, I've already paid them, like they're already here. I might as well just shoot the content. So there's an unlock in the brain that I don't know, like I posted it on social today. I said, majority of people don't need more leads. What they actually need is they need therapy. And like, that is like the truth. That is 100% the truth. Like my therapist is paid a lot of money for me to, you know, like, you know, make the conscious decision that I'm going to be disciplined and I'm going to show up as the man I'm meant to be every single day. And that's like that's a mindset block that I don't know how to, the answer is therapy. You know, like why aren't you doing the thing you need to do? I don't know. Like therapy is a great answer to that type of question. And it's not always an answer that people want to hear, but it's the real answer. The second you said, okay, I was making phone calls. Whenever I'm doing private consulting with a client, I always say to them this: what is your highest leverage income producing activity? If your highest leverage producing income activity is making dials and getting on the phone and setting appointments, then don't worry about the 16 other ways that you can generate business. Do more of the things that are working. So maybe the answer to this question might even be you don't need to create content. So this is why, like, when you hop on these calls, and I preface this at the very beginning of the call, I said, we were talking about direct mailers, and I said, guys, like, a lot of you haven't gone through the Expire playbook. A lot of you haven't went through the game plan frame, so you don't know how to set appointments. A lot of you haven't gone through the buyer presentation, the listing presentation. You can disregard everything we spoke about today until you do that. Because even when you set the appointment, you're not going to know what to do in the listing presentation or get the listing presentation signed. Or when you get the buyer consult, you're not going to know what to say in the buyer consult or get the buyer agreement signed. If you get into a multiple offer bidding war, you're not going to know how to write concessions into the contract in order to get the contract over the finish line. So you could disregard everything I said about mailers, everything I said about personal brand, until you actually know the game plan frame, you know the buyer presentation, and you know the listing presentation like the back of your head. That would be my answer, my long-winded answer to your question. Hopefully that's helpful.
No, it really is, and I appreciate that it's kind of validating, but also if I did decide to take it on, I like the idea of like paying for a videographer. And like in my head, as you say that, it associates a fear, and I'm like, okay, maybe I don't go to my friend that I know would do it for really cheap. Let me go and find somebody that's more expensive to create even more fire under my butt, you know, to actually go ahead and do it if I decide that that's the right choice to make.
Have you heard of the term like raising your minimum standard? Have you heard somebody say that before?
Yeah,
So
I know standards
we
from the
rise to the level of our minimum standard. If our minimum standard is I make $200,000 a year, we're going to make $200,000 a year. That's just it. That's our minimum standard. Like whatever your minimum viable standard is, that's ultimately what you live up to. And that's why I come back to therapy as well. Like, you know, transparently, if you guys have been on the Thursday calls before, you know that Jen Cudmore, if you met her, this is Sharon's money mindset coach. I hired her. An hour of her time is like $1,000. I hired her literally Wednesday. I'm meeting with her on Friday because I have this like mental block of how do we go to the next level. And I know it's not skill. I know it's just like I'm mentally sabotaging myself. I need to figure out how to break the chain that is there. I recognize it's there. I just don't know like why I can't break the limiting belief that I have. And that's the answer to that question is therapy. So I'm going to do therapy. Like I would never ask you to do anything I wouldn't do myself. Sean, you had a question?
Yeah. So basically, I've found that how do you keep the energy up? Because if you're doing batching video content, that's like I found that really hard to like set aside a whole day and keep the energy again consistent and engaging.
I have found that breaks in the day really matter. So like we'll break for lunch, for example, and I find just even simply breaking for lunch gives me the energy back in order to continue throughout the rest of the day. So like there's a little bit of like mental preparation that needs to go into video shooting. It's like if you were public speaking. It's like the same concept. Like, you prep the night before, you have like a general, like you want to write down your ideas, like have a general understanding of what you're going to talk about throughout the day. But for me, in this most recent video shoot that I did over 2 days, we did a bunch of different styles of video. So we did an interview style with Vikram and I in multiple different spots. I did some day in the life type content where I went to an expo. We did talking head video. We did me talking at a coffee shop. We did me on calls, just like recording what I'm talking about. Like, like for example, there could be a videographer right here just recording me on calls. We did that. So we did like a ton of different styles of video. And like I would lean heavy on the videographer to be like, okay, I want to shoot a bunch of different styles of video throughout the day. I want to do some day in the life type content. I want to do some talking head content. I want to do some interview style content. I want you to get some content of me on Zoom meetings, me on the phone. Like that's how you get your videographer to take people behind the scenes of what you do. And like you heard Vic say this before, the Grey's Anatomy, that's how you take them behind the scenes. Like it's like the Gary VS type of content, if you will.
Thanks.
Is that helpful?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it actually helps to mix it up too. So you're not doing the same type of video the entire day
Did I lose?
straight through.
That helpful?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I think Cody's breaking up, huh?
Yeah, I can't hear.
I think he's out.
Disappeared.
Here you go. Columbia.
You're on mute. And apparently I'm host.
Okay, I'm back. So we got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. I have time for maybe 1 to 2 more questions. If there's no questions, we can just wrap up.
No,
Yeah,
Cody, got a question. So back to the farming. So I have just started farming, which is a huge thing for me because I was always scared to do it, and a little bit of posting I didn't do anything. So how long should it take to get results? And I'm happy to say with my first postcard, I did get 2. I was pleased with that.
Well, you need to send more postcards.
I need some more postcards. Yeah. Well,
Sheesh.
I've done 2 mailings so far in this neighborhood, and then we're targeting Facebook because we've got all the Facebook addresses. So we're doing targeted Facebook. I don't know is there a way to pull Google ads? I'm not real familiar with Google ads and how that works as well.
How do you mean? Like, so can you reframe that question so I can understand
Is there a way to target the same people through that different avenue of a Google ad?
Yeah, 100% there is. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you do that?
So it's with Google Tag Manager. So do you have a Google ad specialist?
I have an admin, yes, who knows more than me.
There's a way to do it. Just have them look into it's called Google Tag Manager.
Okay.
Yeah, 100% you can.
Okay. And then I have another question on the you said we can get lists from anywhere, the data lists and stuff. And I have been trying to get some direct targeting list, and I'm having a hard time finding a list that pulls in people that are actually raising their hand to buy or sell into the list of parameters that I'm looking for.
Can you reframe that question again? Sorry, like just so I can understand it on a deeper level.
Okay. So I'm doing some direct targeting.
Yeah.
And so
So
I can
direct targeting on what platform? On like Google and Facebook?
No. To actually buy the list, buy
the list.
people,
Got it.
people
Okay.
that like dogs or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm having a hard time coupling that list, finding a platform that couples that list with people who have raised their hand that are maybe on realtor.com or, they're looking to buy.
That's going to be super hard to find. That's a super hard list to find. Like I don't even, there's skip tracing data out there, like you can skip trace the data, but if you already have like, are you like these lists, you already have their name, like you already have their address and everything. You have their property address.
Well, they're two different lists. I've got a list for my neighborhood that I'm farming, but this would be really for buyers for my listings to
Yeah.
direct target market people, my avatar to buy that house.
Yeah,
That's-
I understand what you're trying to do. There's probably some black hat ways to do it. I would stay away from it.
Okay.
I would say like there are black hat ways of getting scrape data from like realtor.com, but it's technically illegal. Like you can't like, you know, like the realtor.com and Zillow, they don't sell their data.
Mhm.
Like you can't technically buy that data. There's been data breaches. You can buy that data, but it's illegal. So I'm not going to recommend you do that.
Okay, so I just need to stick to the avatar of the person and just shoot it out there, whether or not they're interested in buying or selling.
Yeah, like you're
Okay.
just like whether they're interested in buying or selling, like there are like there are no such thing as now buyers and now sellers. They're created. So it's like, you know, like that's my fundamental belief. They're created, and they're created through marketing, and like, you know, like when they are ready, they're going to raise their hand. So like that's why I say like if you look at what Jan's doing, Jan has a really good marketing strategy around mailers. And that's why I'm using him as an example. But like I would say like if you're sending out mailers and you're not either getting replies, it's the same concepts that apply to email apply to mailers. You want to either number one opt in. You either want an opt in or you want a reply.
Okay.
So you send an email. What do I want? I want an opt in or I want a reply. Those are the only two things I want in an email. It's the same thing with direct mail. I want an opt in or I want a reply. If you don't get an opt in, you don't get a reply. Your direct mail sucks. Just that, like it's the same thing with your email. It's like the same concept. That's why like I'm going to be recording a video and putting it in the portal around like, you know, 3 to 4 different ideas around like mailers. But I would go like 1 month personal handwritten note, postcard, something you're doing for the community, like I like Jan's garage sale idea, and then one other idea, and then just flip it out every quarter. Handwritten note, postcard, gift card. Like I like that's what I would do personally. I have time for one more question. Emick?
Okay, so I've tried mailers in the past. I did postcards, I sent CMAs out, I did a QR code just to see. And like honestly, I did it maybe 2 rounds of that, and in total probably cost me like $500. And I think I had 1 person call me. Like, I think that's part of my fear of like mailers now is I know that, you know, it takes time, but that's a lot of money for time.
Yeah.
For one
And
person.
the answer for you right now might be don't do mailers. I'm not saying that this is everything works. It just takes time, skill, and volume. So to answer your question around like that, like, you know, like I wouldn't spend $500 a month. I would figure out how much you can budget. Maybe it's 50 homes that you canvas around your area. It's a, you know, 247, you know, what is that? You know, 50 times 247. Like math is terrible. $123 a month. I would much rather see you love on 50 people and build depth of relationship with 50 homes in your area than try to go 500 and just be consistent with those 50. And then I would call those 50 every single month. And I would have a different script every single month on my phone call. I would rotate the scripts every month you call them. And the third month, like, you know, the follow-up call could be like, you know, message about the garage sale we're hosting, phone call about the garage sale we're hosting. That gives you an actual reason from a marketing perspective in order to actually call the person again. Reason, relevance, invitation. So that's how you build relationships long-term with people. So like if you're scared of spending $500, don't spend $500. Do what's comfortable for you.
Should you have an event that you put on that would help attract people?
Yeah,
Or
100% I would. Yeah. I like the strategy is like month 1, handwritten letter, month 2, just a postcard. It could be like a CMA. It could be I have a buyer letter done right. Month 3 is, you know, something you're doing for the community. And month 4 could be like a Zestimate type of thing, like a Zestimate type of email. But where people fail with mailer and where they fail with email is they give people too many call to actions, and they just their writing's not the greatest. That's why like there's a book that called well, don't even worry about the book. I'm gonna put it in the portal for you. I'm gonna create a video and I'm gonna drop it in the school portal. So make sure you join the school portal or you're not gonna see it, because we're shutting down Mighty Network schedule. So join school. I'm gonna record a video in the next couple of weeks for you guys around some strategies around like direct mail, so that you can have a good understanding of like, what I would do if I was like canvassing an area. But I would do it alongside of your I would do your direct mail strategy alongside of your calls. I wouldn't stop making calls. This message today is not, hey, one or the other. It's the answer is both. Both. So, or just call because it's free. Takes time. It's not free. Jan's take on creating a Facebook group for neighborhood lawn care, toy drives. Yeah, 100%. Such a good idea. Awesome, guys. Well, I hope you got a ton of value today. I hope that's, I encourage if you hopped in, halfway through, or you hopped in, before we talked about the mailer, if you go back to the replay, you'll hear my kind of like the 2 things that I use. Hope you got a ton of value, and we'll see you all next week.
Thanks
Bye,
again,
guys.
Cody. Appreciate it.
Cody.